Well, thanks for visiting us this morning at KTALnews.com. I'm meteorologist Josh Marces with your Wednesday morning forecast update. We do have a fairly significant risk to see some severe storms in the ArkLaTex today. There is a severe weather outbreak that is going to take place across the country this afternoon, this evening, and maybe into tonight. Let me give you the wide look at what's happening here. You know how we rate these outlooks on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being all the ingredients are available and severe weather outbreak is likely. You can see that bullseye as far as the high risk over towards the Memphis area. And again, we only get 1 or 2 of these high risks each year, and this is already the second one that we've had this spring. We have that level 4 moderate risk in red. That's the area where we likely see some severe weather today, including a few intense storms. And with that level 3 enhanced risk outlooks means also we could see some scattered significant severe weather anywhere, basically from I-20 and northward today. But we're really watching Arkansas and these areas in Louisiana along and north of Interstate 20. Again, we can't rule out maybe some significant severe weather back here in Oklahoma and Texas. That's where the storms will likely get going by about 3 or 4 p.m. today, but the storms will really mature as they head to the east and tap into the best ingredients here. So the main risk is going to be for large hail. We could see hail up to tennis, maybe even baseball size with some of the storms today, but the standard severe hail will be basically quarter to golf ball sized hail, and that's probably what we'll see with a few of these storms out there. The tornado risk is at least moderate. I thought about bumping it up to high here. The wording today is that there could be a few strong tornadoes, especially in this moderate risk zone in Arkansas. I talked about a strong tornado. It's EF2 or greater, and typically those strong tornadoes can stay on the ground longer. So if you're in a mobile home today, make plans to be somewhere else once the tornado watch is issued this afternoon. Again, it's likely we'll see at least a few of our counties and parishes in that tornado watch that's issued later today, just the way things are looking. So once that watch comes out, make sure you leave your mobile home, stay with some friends, family, a relative, or somewhere in town with a more sturdy structure. That's the worst place to be on a day like today. And unfortunately, these storms will be going during the afternoon commute, so just make sure you're staying weather aware today. Some damaging wind, we can't rule that out. Flood threat is low today, but the flood threat is going to be increasing as we'll see this chance for repeated severe storms all the way through Saturday. So the setup for us today, we have a cold front and dry line that's back here in Texas and Oklahoma in this very strong area of low pressure, which is pushing those two features across the country here. We are in that warm sector out ahead of the front. It's, again, for early April, these morning temperatures in the 70s, very unusual. You talk about how you can kind of feel it on a severe weather day. You can definitely feel it in the atmosphere this morning. It's windy as well. Temperatures mid-70s, extremely humid, and forecasting highs to reach the 80s this afternoon. So the warm air, the humidity, we need those for severe weather. We have that ample amounts of warm air and humidity today, and you can see the current wind gusts are about 30 to 40 miles per hour. This is the low-level jet stream that's kicking in off the Gulf here and kind of transporting that moisture, and this will also cause the wind shear. You get those strong southerly winds at about 30 to 40 miles per hour, and then you get this area of low pressure. Some of the winds in the upper levels will be above 100 miles per hour, so you get that wind shear as those winds will turn to the west once that area of low pressure gets here, and that's what's going to trigger that severe weather outbreak likely this afternoon. So there's not going to be a lot of storms. That is the thing that we're watching today. Some days we get these severe weather threats, we'll find ourselves with about 15 to 20 severe thunderstorm or tornado warnings. That's not going to be the case today. Things will be relatively quiet through about 1 or 2 p.m. But you can see some storms beginning to pop up in the mid-afternoon today. This is a look at our HRRR model. This is the one that updates every hour. Typically when we have severe weather days, this is the best guidance for us, and this is showing the storms really erupting at about 3 or 4 p.m., basically from Shreveport up into Arkansas. And these storms will go severe in about 30 minutes. It's not going to take long for them to tap into the right ingredients, and you can see the storms likely continuing through the afternoon. I apologize. This is actually our in-house model here, which I think has a pretty good handle on how things will play out. And you can see tomorrow it's a similar situation. I don't think the risk category will be as high tomorrow, but we are in the severe weather outlook for your Thursday. And let me show you, this is the HRRR model. This is the one that updates every hour, and on those severe weather days will give us the best guidance here. It is showing just a few storms north of I-30 this morning. Could bring some wind and hail, but again, the main risk for severe weather is going to develop with the storms this afternoon. You'll notice just a handful of storms at about 3 or 4 p.m. on this model, but it does get the general idea that some of the strongest storms probably here in Arkansas and down to I-20, including Shreveport, but it does keep some of these storms going later into the evening, and possibly maybe a few of these severe storms continuing past midnight tonight. But I think for most of us, the severe weather threat should end by about 10 or 11 p.m. This is the outlook tomorrow. We have that level 2 slight risk. I think there will be an upgrade to a level 3. It's it's somewhere in the outlook here, so you're just going to have to check back day by day for these severe weather updates. And we did add, again, Miller, Lafayette, and Columbia counties to the flood watch that goes until Sunday morning. Backed off the rainfall projections somewhat. Still looks like we could see a good 5 to 7 inches of rain here in the watch area, so this will cause some flooded rivers, some road flooding by the end of the week here. And it's, again, feast or famine. Areas like Natchitoches, Manny, and Center, about 1 to 2 inches of rain. Areas like Marshall, Shreveport, and Minden, about 2 to 3 inches of rain. Texarkana, you're right in that 3 to 4 inch window, and it's everybody north of I-30 that could see those 5 to 7 inch amounts. Of course, you get rain up there in the northern ArkLaTex. All of that has to drain through our rivers and lakes, so even if you're not under the heavy rain, it's still possible you'll see some pretty significant rises on the river, especially the Red down towards Shreveport as well as Natchitoches. And there's the severe weather outlook on Friday. Friday will be the one day that, again, a lot of us will stay dry as this front will retreat somewhat to the north, and then pretty significant threat for severe weather on Saturday. All hazards, and could have another pretty big outbreak, especially during the afternoon and evening on Saturday. Storm Prediction Center has us in that level 3 enhanced risk outlook. So again, for outdoor plans this weekend, Saturday looks terrible. Sunday looks a little better. We'll definitely cool down by Sunday as those temperatures dip back into the 60s. The rainfall ends, and we will be dry with highs in the 60s and 70s for most of next week.